With the PlayStation 5 event coming on Wednesday, some information regarding what Sony's expecting to do with the new console has started to trickle out in the rumour mill. And what I'm going to talk about today is the fact that they're looking at the different way they're going to approach the PlayStation 5 launch compared to the Xbox in regards to what games are going to be coming to the PlayStation 5 in comparison to what's available on the PlayStation 4. But before we get into that, I'm now currently 7 subscribers off 200 for this channel, so please support the channel and help by subscribing right now, and also leave a like if you enjoyed the videos. That helps support the channel massively to more people so they can also see the videos. Back to today's news then, and first of all, Sony has basically confirmed that not all PlayStation 5 games when they launch will be available on the PlayStation 4. This sort of goes against exactly what Microsoft are doing with their smart delivery system, where Microsoft are saying you can purchase maybe whatever game it is, so say the new Forza will come out on both Xbox One and Xbox Series X, and when you finally upgrade to the new console, you'll get the version for the new console for free if you've already purchased it. Because of this system Microsoft is providing, it is assumed or expected that all of their first party games, at least for the first year or so, are going to be available on both consoles. Whether that will continue further on afterwards, that remains to be seen, but this is not what Sony is doing with the PlayStations. So all Sony's first party games that are going to be launching on the PlayStation 5 are just going to be that. They're going to be on the PlayStation 5. They won't be on the PlayStation 4. And I'm expecting to see some of those potentially revealed on Wednesday with the announcement of the console. And the fact that they've come out and said this, you'd expect to think that a lot of what they're going to announce is only going to be available on the PlayStation 5. So if you want to play those games, you're going to have to get the new console. Sony also hasn't stopped here, as they have now also told all developers that anyone making a game now for the PlayStation 4 is required to have that run also on the PlayStation 5. So any new games developed for the PlayStation 4 are automatically required for the developer to make it so that it's forward compatible to the next generation console, and then that would also be sort of stated on the case or the advertising for the game that they are compatible, and you don't miss out any features, and everything that works on the PlayStation 4 also works on the PlayStation 5. This counts for any games that are received by Sony for testing and certification after July the 13th. And after this date, developers must state that their game has been tested for compatibility with the PlayStation 5 hardware. And when they state compatibility, they basically mean the game can run on the PlayStation 5 without any issues and allow players to access the same features they would on the PlayStation 4. They've also released guidelines with a similar theme to games that are still being updated or patched on the PlayStation 4 currently, with the same date, July the 13th. If the games are patched or sort of further developed or updated before that date, they don't have to be a requirement for them to be able to run on the PlayStation 5. However, if they are done so after that date, they do have to be able to run on the PlayStation 5. As mentioned previously, the same features and same experience you would get on the PS4 needs to be available on the PS5. Any updates after that date for a game. And even though I said the updates before that date aren't required, Sony is strongly recommending that they are available on PlayStation 5 as well. So probably see a lot of games available to play on the PlayStation 5 when it does launch from the back catalogue of PlayStation 4. There is also worth adding a note here that games that are already coming out, such as the Ghost of Tsushima, which is releasing after the date of July 13th on July the 17th, won't necessarily have to have that clarification to be available on the PlayStation 5, and that is because obviously they would have been submitted to Sony for certification before this date, already probably have been submitted. It is coming out on that date. It's not going to be submitted like 4 days before and then released to the public. If there was an issue, there wouldn't be any time to do anything about it. So yeah, it's just for the submission to Sony of a game. So games that are soon after that that are already coming out, this probably isn't going to apply to them. So don't get excited that necessarily has to have the availability on the PlayStation 5, but you would think a big title like that's coming out so late, they're probably in their interests to make it forward compatible, so I would assume they will do it, but it's not a guarantee. Obviously, Mark Cerny said in the sort of conference or presentation talking about the architecture of the PS5 that at least the top 100 games on the PlayStation 4 would be backwards compatible or forwards compatible to the PlayStation 5. Whatever this means, I don't know whether that means they've got to work on a system to develop it, or the actual developers have to do it like what it sounds like for any new games coming out. Who knows, but I'm sure other big titles that might not be in that list but are coming out this year, for example Last of Us 2 as well, I'm sure they will get the same treatment. So yeah, the PlayStation 5 is actually going to be revealed this Thursday. I think I corrected a mistake I made earlier in the video. I might have said Wednesday, but it's actually June the 4th, this Thursday. We'll find out more about the console, about the games, what it's going to look like, and maybe we'll see the price, who knows. I doubt we'll see the price, but potentially. But while we're on that matter, Sony has also come out and spoken about the price, saying that it might not be the lowest price in its battle against the Xbox Series X. So in an interview with Sony Interactive Entertainment's president and CEO Jim Ryan, he had with Game Industry Biz, they basically asked him if he thought the COVID-19 related recession would affect the sales of the PlayStation 5, and he had this to say: "I think the best way that we can address this is by providing the best possible value proposition that we can, and I don't necessarily mean the lowest price." Now he does go on further then to clarify what he means by value, by saying obviously the features, the games, the services, the quality, the amount of games, the price of games, and all this stuff that they're going to offer on the PlayStation 5. But as specified, as I mentioned, he doesn't necessarily mean value as in they're going to be the cheapest consoles. That's something that's interesting maybe to take into consideration. They are maybe expected maybe then to launch at either the same or more expensive price than the Xbox Series X. By the sounds of it, they're kind of accepting that might be the case. So yeah, that'll be something to keep an eye on and quite interesting as well. Maybe we will hear about that on Thursday, maybe we won't, and it'll be a little bit later, closer to when it does actually come out. All in all then, some positives, some things that I think could be better with Sony so far, but it's hard to speculate and talk about a lot of it until we see it in person, and hopefully we will do on Thursday. I personally think that Xbox is dealing with the multi-plat console cross-launch better, having the games available on both and then upgrade as you want. That is more of a consumer-friendly approach. And obviously Sony is going for more of a business-led approach where if you want the new games, you've got to buy the new hardware, and that's sort of that is it. If you want their new first-party games, that's the only way you're going to play them, the PlayStation 5. Whereas Microsoft is kind of do you know what, it doesn't matter, as long as you got one of our devices, buy our games, you can play them, and it's up to you when you decide you want to play it at a better performance or whatever. So yeah, a little bit more consumer friendly, so we'll see how much of an effect that has in the sales of the new consoles when they both launch at the end of this year. Be interesting to see if Xbox can sort of come back at Sony for, well, the fact that Xbox has done so bad in the past generation, so it'll be interesting to see if they can come back. Let me know in the comments below then what you think about all this new information about the PlayStation 5. Do you think they're dealing with the launch in the best way, or do you think maybe they should have made the games available on the PlayStation 4 at least for the first couple of months? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, it helps support us massively to grow. We're nearly at 200 subscribers. Would really appreciate if you helped us get there, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. There's two videos on the screen right now. One of them is the most recent video, the other one is recommended for you by YouTube. So check those out, and I shall see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.